Welcome back everybody. Today we'll be going all the way to Italy to make lasagna with our Italiano friends. Okay, now I regret doing that. So moving on. To make a good lasagna, there are three main components: the meat sauce, the cheese sauce, and the pasta sheets. We'll be starting off with the meat sauce because that takes the most time. We'll let it simmer and we'll continue on to making the pasta sheets. Then we'll be making the cheese sauce, and at last we'll make the lasagna all together. So let's get started with these are the ingredients you would mainly use for a good meat sauce: garlic, onion, carrots, celery, wine, tomato paste, diced tomato, chicken, but most people use beef, but I used it as a substitute, personal preference. And if you can find pancetta, that's great, but I couldn't find, so I'm using bacon. Now let's get to the chopping part. Now let's chop up our vegetables. You don't necessarily need small pieces, they can be a bit big, as they'll be cooking in the sauce for a while. Except for garlic, you have to make thin slices. Now we take our onions. We first slice it down the middle and make 3 incisions here. And now it's the carrot. This too will be making the relatively bigger slices compared to garlic. Now we take the celery. Now we got all our vegetables cut out, so now let's start cooking. Now let's get our pan onto a medium flame. Always remember to heat up your pan, then add your oil, then heat up your oil, then add your ingredients. Otherwise, if you add your ingredients before the oil heats up properly, you're getting all the oil absorbed into the ingredients and it's gonna taste horrible, and none of us want that. So once the pan heats up, you add the oil, and then once the oil heats up, you add your ingredients. Now I think the pan's pretty hot enough. Let's go ahead and add our oil. We first have to brown our chicken. You don't have to cook it fully, but you just need to brown it a bit. As you can see, the bubbles forming on the oil, that means it's preheated up. Now let's move it around and get it all over the pan. Now we add our chicken. That sizzle is exactly what we wanted. Now this is big. Remember not to salt your chicken or beef or whatever meat you add. Do not salt it at this stage. You can salt it when we make this sauce. Otherwise, if we salt this and we salt the sauce, then it's going to be way salty and it's not going to be nice to eat. Now we discard of the chicken. Get your pan back on the flame and just add a tad bit of oil. Once this oil has reached temperature, add your bacon. Bacon too gives that salty but nice flavor. Make sure you render out all the fat from the bacon for the best flavor of your lasagna. Now we add our garlic. And once the garlic gets very fragrant, we add our chopped vegetables. Just pour it. Now we stir it around. Once you see the vegetables begin to translucent, you add your tomato paste, about a tablespoon of salt, and you stir it around. And once you get that good caramelized smell, you add your wine. Don't go overboard with this. We all know that we like wine, but let's not go overboard with it. Now we let the alcohol cook out.
A few moments later.
Now that all the alcohol is cooked out, we add our diced tomatoes. Now we add our chicken stock into this to cook through. Save a bit for the can. We get this can and put back in. As you can see, there's more tomato paste in there. Don't miss out on any flavor. So we put it back in and stir it around and we drop it there. Can we put the rest of the stuff? Now we add our chicken. Now we add a bay leaf, oregano, our thyme. Now we stir everything up and just let it simmer until it boils down. Now we have our meat sauce on the way. Now let's go make our pasta sheets while this simmers. And now onto a clean work surface, we add our flour. And now we make a small well in the middle to add our eggs. Make sure you make it a bit wide because you don't want the well to break and all the eggs run out. Here we have one whole egg and one egg yolk. You mix these up and then you slowly add your egg. Slowly add your flour. You gradually incorporate the flour into your eggs without breaking the well. As you can see, the flour is forming a small paste. You want that gradually to happen and not suddenly just break the well. And now once it reaches this consistency, you will be able to incorporate all the flour at once. Now it's time to get your hands dirty. Now once you get like a shaggy dough like this, mix all of them together and make a singular ball. Once you get all the flour incorporated into one ball like this, you knead it through until you get a very smooth exterior. Once you get a smooth ball like this, you cover it in cling film and pop it in the freezer for 20 minutes. Now that we let our dough rest for 30 minutes in the fridge, now let's go roll it out. Once you set up your pasta machine, we first flour the pasta machine, then flour the dough on both sides so it does not stick to the machine. And we first put it on to the widest setting and then we send it through. It won't be very smooth at first, but it will gradually get to it. After you roll the dough twice through the further setting, then you send it once more through the setting which is one more smaller than the previous one. As you can see, it got a lot thinner. Now again we flour the dough on both sides. Make sure you are working on a clean worktop, otherwise you cannot work properly. And once again we reduce the setting and we send the dough right through again. And for one last time, I'm going to send the dough through the smallest setting to get it very fine. You can see my hand through the pasta sheet, and that's when you know that you're done. Now it's time to make our cheese sauce. Making a cheese sauce is very easy. These are the only ingredients you need: milk, flour, butter and cheese. Here I have a mix of freshly grated Gouda, mozzarella and cheddar. To make a white sauce, we will first need to make a roux. A roux is a thickening agent made of equal parts of flour and butter, where you cook down the flour and butter to make a paste. It helps thicken up our white sauce. Now let's get started. And now we get our pan nice and hot. And now we add our butter. Now we add our flour. We add just a tad bit more. Once you get a paste like this, you slowly incorporate your milk. And now it's time for the cheese. Make sure you leave a bit to add on top of the lasagna. This is the consistency we were looking for. Now we just season it up with salt and pepper. And we're good. Now let's start assembling our lasagna. Now that all the steps are completed, all we do is need to assemble our lasagna. I know one layer is already done. I forgot to record. But it goes, the bottom is the meat sauce, then the lasagna sheet, then again we add meat sauce on top of it. Make sure you get it all throughout your lasagna. Now we add our cheese sauce. Spread it right throughout your whole lasagna. And now we take our fresh pasta sheet and we boil it. Fresh pasta only takes about 10 to 20 seconds. So you just need to put it in there and you can take it out right away. And once it flows to the top, we take it out. Only do this if your hands have no sensitivity like mine. And now we do the other side. It's totally fine if you overlap your pasta sheets. Nothing's going to happen. Now we just pop it in the oven to get nice color. That's it. And there we have it, guys. Our lasagna. See you all next time.